Hello and welcome to another adventure. What about this for a spot, eh? Absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful spot. Out on the bike actually, testing a bit of kit today, doing a bit of a review on a bit of kit that I've been sent, and it must have been about 3 weeks ago. I was on a forum and somebody said in this forum probably the dumbest thing that I've ever heard, which for a forum is pretty hard to do, you know, because people are saying dumb things all the time on Facebook and in groups. But someone in one group or other was asking about devices and what apps people use and what they use to find places to go ride and so on. And someone in the group said, "What is it with you guys and all your gadgets? Just go out there and ride." And I thought about it for a minute, and I thought, well, there is a nugget of truth in that, but without the gadget, I wouldn't be standing here today. Without the gadget, I wouldn't have found this spot, this absolutely amazing spot. So the trail, I'm right at the end of the trail here on this beach, and it comes down this lane, look, just from down there. So I guess probably technically this is where the lane ends, but look, I've come, you know, an extra 10 foot just for the photos, as it were. Yeah, but without my gadgets, and specifically without the green road map, then I would never have found this amazing spot. And obviously as adventure bike riders and trail riders, then you're going to need something to use to get out and trail ride. And so today I'm going to talk about a bit of kit that I've been sent. Let me just take my helmet off of here. So I'm going to chat today about this bit of kit here. So this is this Carpuride Apple CarPlay or Android Auto device. So this is the Carpuride W702 Pro. There's two versions of this device. There's this version, like the standard version, and then there's a version with TPMS, which is a tyre pressure management system, I think it stands for. So this is the standard version of that. And Carpuride contacted me and said, would I be interested in testing it, which is not normally something I do. But I watch this guy on YouTube occasionally called Keith Dobson, I think his name is, and he's Australian, rides KTM 500, good channel, great guy. I love a lot of the stuff he puts out, and he was testing one, and I thought, you know, I quite like the idea of that. And then lo and behold, Carpuride contacted me and said, would I be interested in reviewing one? And so they've sent me this, and I've been using it. They've only given me 4 weeks to you know, get to know it. I would have preferred much longer, but yeah, so I've been using it for the last few weeks and just getting to know it. I've been out, you know, on rides, did a trail ride the other day, probably my last vlog, where I was checking out some lanes in Essex. Yes, so today we're going to go on a bit of a ride. I'm going to head down towards Frinton on Sea, and then over towards Clacton, and then hopefully end up in another favourite little spot of mine that I only discovered and I only ever got to because of gadgets. Because without the gadgets, you know, how do we ever get there? How do we navigate to them? We need something. I think this guy on this forum might have been American, so probably in America you can just go off for as long as you want and not worry. But obviously here in the UK, we're massively restricted. You've got to sort of stick to the rules and only go where it's legal to go. Yeah, so yeah, we need the gadgets. So as you probably know, I normally like to use my iPhone. So I've got two iPhones. I've got one I just use on my bike, which is an old iPhone Pro Max. And then I've got another one that I just keep in my pocket, which is like my normal iPhone. So that's safe in my pocket and use that for taking photos normally. And then my second iPhone sits up here on the bike, which I'm sure you will have seen loads before. So I normally use my phone. I have got a Zumo XT, a Garmin Zumo XT, but I never really got on with it. It's a great bit of kit, but it was how it interacted with my other phone, or my normal phone, and the intercom and all that I didn't particularly like. So I never actually, I've still got it and I will use it again, the Garmin Zumo XT, but it's just not a go-to bit of kit. So that, I did a review on that actually. Well, I did a review comparing the Garmin versus the my phone, and so I'll put a link up to that. So maybe go and watch that if you're interested in that sort of thing, on my thoughts on that. So yeah. So anyway, so let's get on with it and stop me. I mean, let's just look how amazing it is. I could stay here all day. Sun's on my back now. It's a beautiful day. So let's go on a bit of a ride. Let's talk about this Carpuride 702 Pro. What I think of it, who I think it's for. You know, who I think might want to buy this, and pros and cons. You know, what I think it's good at, what I think it's not so good at. Generally, I will say here and now that I think it is a good bit of kit, but there are some, what's the word I'm thinking of? There are some aspects of it that I would want to slightly change, and some things that I think where it's maybe not the ideal bit of kit for you, depending on what you like to use, especially what apps you like to use when you're out on the trail. I've got it connected up via a USB lead at the minute, so it's, you get two connection options. You get a kit to either wire it into the bike, or you get a USB lead. So I've got it plugged into my USB socket here, and I don't know if you're going to see that there, but I'll show you a bit of a clip. So it's got this really good connector, and it's like a really decent, well-made connector that pushes together and then screws together, and it's just not going to come undone. So I think that's really good that when you buy this, it does come with some really good bits to get you up and running. So the device is obviously based off of using, probably come around this side to see it better, but you can see there I've got my RAM mount connector there, and it's onto my RAM mount ball that is mounted onto my Rally Raid device mount. So that's from Rally Raid products. I'll put up a link to all of this. So I've got a Rally Raid mount on this rail here that you get on the T7. And if you didn't know this, you can buy these bars here, look, for the T7, these bracing bars. So that bar there doesn't come stock. So I've got these bracing bars, one on either side. I didn't buy the Camel ADV ones, I bought the cheap ones off of eBay. They've been really good. So that braces that bar. Then I've got this Rally Raid clamp, and I normally have my SP Connect foam mount on there, but in this case I've got the Ram Raid arm, so it's a ram ball to ram ball. Now the kit does come with two RAM mounting options, or it comes with an arm and a clamp, so you can mount it somewhere. And there's a ball on the back of the device, the other mounting ball on the back of this Carpuride. So it just makes attaching it and removing it really, really easy, because it's just using this ubiquitous RAM mounting system. There's countless different things you can get for that. Look, I mean, I've got this one here that I just use for my GoPro, because I can't put my GoPro where I normally have it because of this. So I've got that there. I've got RAM mounts. I've got somewhere to put cameras down low on my bike. So I think that's really, really good. They're using the RAM mount system, which makes it very easy to take off. Now some might say, well, that's a problem because then it'll get nicked, but you can get these RAM arms. You can get ones that are sort of, they haven't got this wing nut here to help you get it off. They've got like a locking one. Again, I'll stick up a picture just to show you sort of thing I mean. So you could adjust this and get it set up however you want, you know, and it would look, you could get it, you know, really, really slick. I've got it quite high because I like it quite high. And people might message me and say, oh, how can you see where you're going? Because it's right in your field of view, but it's not. It's because my GoPro is lower than my eyes, so it just gives the impression from the footage that we're about to see that this is in the way, but it isn't. I see over this easily, So that's perfect for me there. Yeah, so I do like that RAM mount to USB, makes it easy. And obviously, being USB, you could just run it into a power bank that you've got in your bag and run it off of that. It doesn't use a lot of power, but that is an option. So yes, right, anyway, let's get going. Let's get on the road and make our way over to Frinton. Right, let's get this show on the road. Yeah, so I think as the dumb things go, you know, dissing people because they want some help with regards to navigation and what devices people are using and what are the best apps, etc. Yeah, it is a bit dumb, because how do we get to these amazing places without having these things? So clearly we need devices and we need gadgets. I'm going left here. Yeah, we need these bits of kit, and it is a bit of a minefield what you get, and a lot of it isn't cheap. You know, if you get something like a Garmin Montana, another idiot, and I often see this guy commenting in groups, was saying about, someone asked again in the TRF group, I think it was, what shall I get, what apps are you guys using? Get a Garmin Montana, don't waste your money, listen to me, they're a lot of money, but it works. Well, 700 quid, it is a lot of money, and yes, it does work, but it only does one thing, it only navigates, which is why I like phones. I mean, I'm not going to go into this. Watch that vlog I did comparing my Garmin Zumo XT with my phone, because I just like what you get from a phone, the extra things that you get that you don't get in something like the Zumo, you won't get in a Montana, and that is just changing your music. You know, you're riding along and easily changing your tunes, or answering the phone, or bringing up Google Maps and finding a petrol station easy, or a restaurant, or whatever it may be, or the beach. You know, oh, where's the beach around here? Let's go and get some cool photos. You see where I'm going with this? So yeah, I think having good kit, good gadgets, good tech, it helps us. It can be a hindrance, but in many ways it helps us. Now, what I do like about this Carpuride 702 Pro is, so I'm just going to say the device from here on in, because I don't want to keep saying that, that's boring. So what I do like about the device is, it's very, very simple. There are a couple of bits, and I struggled with my Senna and how my Senna interacts with it all. But once I read the manual, and I watched a YouTube video, yeah, I sorted it out, no problem. It wasn't an issue. So yeah, so I absolutely love, what I love about this is it's very simple to set up and get going. And so if you're wondering, well, what is CarPlay, what is Android Auto? Well, the best way I think to look at CarPlay and Android Auto is, it's just a remote control of your phone, but in this case obviously it's got a screen, so it's not just a set of buttons, it's a screen. And so that means I can have my phone in my pocket or in my tank bag, but I can see what my phone is doing on the device, and I can control my phone on the device. So effectively, CarPlay, Android Auto, from here on in, I'm just going to say CarPlay because that's what I'm using, and I've never used Android Auto, so I don't really know. Yeah, so when using CarPlay, this device is just an easy way to control my phone and see what my phone sees. So I'm using the phone, the iMap that is on my phone now, and effectively what's on the screen is CarPlay, or the device, showing me what my phone is seeing. So this is one of the big if probably not the biggest downside to CarPlay is that not every app is CarPlay compatible. So my absolute favourite app for going out and riding the trails is OS Maps, so Ordnance Survey Maps. So the app and the desktop tool that you get with it, I just think is brilliant. Way easier to use than Basecamp, which is what you might use, say, in a Montana. It is just an excellent bit of kit. Ordnance Survey Maps are the best maps in the UK. They're the most detailed. It's what the military use. I've said all this before, yeah? So I love OS Maps, but the problem is OS Map app isn't compatible with CarPlay. So I can't see OS Map app on this device, but I can see some other apps. So I'm using iMaps here, but you could use Google Maps, although I haven't downloaded it because I just don't want to fill my phone up with all sorts of apps that I don't like. So Google Maps, Waze is compatible, Kalimoto is compatible, and quite a few others. If you Google compatible apps and go to CarPlay, search CarPlay online, you'll find a lot of compatible apps. But you'll know if they're compatible because when you look on your phone, on the CarPlay section in your phone, you'll see there's a bit where you can choose the apps that come onto your CarPlay device, and if it's not in the list, then obviously it's not compatible. I'll put up a bit of a picture just showing that. Yeah, so a CarPlay device is just basically, like I say, just like a really good remote control for your phone, but it's got a screen. And so this is the pro to this is a 7-inch screen. Carpuride do other size screens, but this is a 7-inch one, which means it's nice and big. If you're a bit of a Mr. Magoo like me, then that's a good thing. But you know, so as I'm looking on my screen here, it's really easy to see what the map is showing me and the details and the text. Yeah, so that is a good thing because it's a 7-inch screen, nice big screen. And to use it and use the buttons is really good as well. Much easier than using my phone, I would say, because it is such a big screen. And also, next really good positive with this device is I've only found one pair of gloves so far that it didn't like, and that was a pair of skiing gloves that were like a Cordura or like a non-leather material. So these are, see, it's got that little thing on them. So these are screen compatible gloves. These are some Klim gloves that I use sort of spring and autumn time. But I did try a big set of like thick skiing gloves I've got, but with leather palms, and they worked on this device. So all the other gloves I've tried, even some that I like to use when I'm out on the CRF, but I tend not to as much as I want to because they're not phone compatible. Well, they're compatible on this. So that is a really good thing. The touch screen and what gloves you can use, it just makes that really simple. Yes, I've done a few rides now using this device on the road. I did a run up to Norwich yesterday, needed to go up to the camera shop, just take something back. And it's brilliant, it's really good. So I'm getting all of the voice commands, all the prompts from my phone into my Sena headset here. So I'm, 100 yards, turn left and all of that. You might hear it kicking in a bit. Yeah, so that's good. So I'm getting all of that. I'm getting my navigation prompts. And obviously if I wanted to go to music, then I could. So on the left here you can see these three icons. So we've got Maps, we've got Spotify, and then this bottom one is an app I use. I'm just getting a command, turn left 150 yards. Is an app I use to turn the lights on and off at home.
That's my wife that wants that, trust me. Yeah, so look, if I now want to switch to Spotify, look, I can switch to Spotify and it's just going to load it up. So it's not the normal Spotify screen that you would expect to see, but oh bloody hell, Mike, 6s and 7s. Yeah, so you know, you've got this just really nice, easy to use screen. Like I say, the touch screen's on it, there's not really a lot of a lag. So look, I could play Spotify now. Got the Lemonheads coming at you. I did see something, another guy doing a review of this, and I think he was using Android Auto, and so he had a bit of a split screen, which is what I would like. So I don't know if you can do that. I've got to do some more research. I've got to ask Carpuride some questions at the end of today. So if you can, I'll stick a comment in just to say. But obviously I'm still getting my voice prompts. It will say, you know, in X amount of time. So let's have a look. Here you go, look. Well, plus they come on screen. So it's flashed up on screen and said in half a mile, veer to the right. Yeah, so I've got on with it really well. It's really easy to use. You know, it's not clunky, it's not slow, it's not disappearing off here, there and everywhere. It's fairly intuitive. You know, you've not got to be an app ninja to get up and running and get going with it. RTFM, as they say, read that thing manual. And there's plenty of reviews out there to watch. And the Carpuride website's pretty good as well. It's got some good information on there. Again, anything useful, links, I'll stick at the end. So I've got my music coming out there now. Now I can still use the controls on my helmet. I can use controls on my helmet or the little remote that comes with my Senna. I can still use all of that. Or obviously I can just pause it on here to stop it. Right, so I'm going to go back to my map. We're going down there then. Yeah, so it's just telling me that I've arrived at one of my pins that I've dropped. Now what I didn't know until I'd started doing some research, because I'd got this device, was that I'd never really had the need to, I guess, and never really investigated it. But in iMaps, you can sort of create a route of your choice. So you select a destination effectively, and then you pick your start point, pick your end point, and then you add stops. And then you can move the stops up and down within the sort of list order, and obviously you put them in the order you want to go, and then, you know, you've got your route, which is what I've done for today, to create this route. I did look at getting Calimoto, but I think Calimoto's something like 60 quid a year. I'll put it, it's ridiculously expensive. I thought, well, I'm not paying that. I do like that I've got this up here, look, it's telling me it's 60 mile an hour along this bit of road, so I do like that I'm getting that. Can't remember if I get it normally on my phone. Yeah, these are some cracking lanes. I bet the road guys love coming down here. Some absolute peach bends. I've got my full knobblies on. Don't think I'll be getting my knee down today. I'll give it a go though, eh? Yeah, so we're heading down to Frinton, and I want to go and check out this biker cafe. Name of it I forget, but I'm sure it'll be obvious when we get there. One of the big downsides to this is this unit on its own is pretty much useless. It has got some features, I'll talk about them later, but without your phone it's useless. And so it is constantly talking to your phone, and therefore it is heavy on the battery power of your phone. And so if you look over here, look, you can see I've got the battery symbol, what signal my phone has got, and and what the time is. Hang on a minute, so it's just here. Here we go, just in here. I think we're just in here. Let's go just in here. Right, let's just whack that there. We're here. Yeah, so it is heavy on battery, and that is a downside to it. So, you know, I started when I left home a couple of hours ago. I had a fully charged battery, but I have been doing some filming, so, but I've got a power bank in my tank bag, so I can obviously just connect that up and charge it as I'm going along. So it's not a major issue, but it's just something that you've got to be wary of. And it's not like a Garmin device where it's got mapping in it. It's got nothing in it. Like I say, it is just a remote. All it has got, I'll show you now. If I go to homes, so this is the home of the device. If I go to here, look, it gives me a compass, and this is the heading that you're going on. So it gives you a compass heading, which is not particularly useful. You know, if you're in the middle of a desert, let's say, and you knew that there was maybe a river to the north of you and you needed to head towards the river, let's say, or a track, you could do that. But it's going to be tricky, I would imagine, to go on a bearing using this. And then here you've got your height, but I've not set this up yet, because there's no way we are 68 meters above sea level, because there's the sea. We're not 68 meters above it. Yeah. And if I press this, so this is barometric pressure, so whatever that is. Yeah, so you have got this little feature here, which is your barometer and your compass. And then if I go back to the home screen here, look, you have, go back to the home screen, come on. Oh, here we go. Go back to the home screen. I'll then press this here, and this changes the background, look, this little button. So you can change the backgrounds if you want. I think I just had it on something that was black, so it was easier to read. And then you got this button here, look, so this is your screen brightness. So at the minute it's on auto, this is switched on, so it's on auto. If I switch it off, I can then lower the brightness of the screen, look. Yeah, but if I put it back to auto, it's got a little sensor, I think it's just there, look, and it senses that it's a really bright day, and it's just going back to full brightness. I think the screen's really good, really clear. I did a bit of a, you know, I had a bit of a moment because I left the sticker on it that it came with, but it was it was so hard to see because it was, you know, a good sticker. So I don't know if you can get a screen protector for these. Maybe have a look on Amazon, someone must be knocking them out. But it is a great screen, it's really, really clear. Yeah, so then along the top here, got some other things. Look, I can change the volume of the media, that's if you're connected in a different way to how I am. You've then got an equalizer, so look, I'm on rock, but that is for the device itself. So I've not really used that. It has got a card slot on the side here, so you can put a micro SD card in, and if you go to the card, I have uploaded some films. So my old favourite here, Norman Stanley Fletcher, a bit of porridge, who doesn't like that, eh? Yeah, the issue is I'm not being able to get the sound out of it yet, because this hasn't got a speaker. So this, I tried to get it to go to one of my Bluetooth speakers that I might take camping with me, and so say in the evening I could sit and watch some movies on this, connect it up to a power bank and watch some movies. But as of yet I've not worked out how to connect the speaker. If I find out, I'll insert something here. So yeah, so far I am not just saying this because they've asked me to test it and review it. You know me, guys, I am not a bullshitter. I say it how it is, and for what it is meant to do, it is very, very good at it. It is. The issue is the apps, and as I said on that last vlog, so if I go to CarPlay, look, you'll see the apps that I've got. So these are the apps that I've got at the minute. I've got BBC Sounds, I've got my radio, OSM, and maps, which I used the other day. So that's my off-road app, so if I want to go green laning. Got my phone, got another radio player, Spotify, Waze, WhatsApp. Kalimoto, I have downloaded it. I thought I'll give that a go, but then I realised you had to pay a stupid amount of money, so I've not used it. So so they're the apps that I've got at the minute that I'm using on the device, and it's been great. It's great. If it had OS maps on it, I'd be all over this. This would be my, you know, it'd be brilliant. Would I want it on the 450? Because generally when I'm on the 450, I'm doing something a bit more gnarly. I can't complain anyway. It's been great. Right, let's go and get a brew. Right, so refreshed and fed. Bit of a bacon, what was it? What do you call that thing? French stick thing. And a can of Dr. Pepper. Revved up in Frinton on sea. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. It is a bit of a biker bar, if you know what I mean. Play 2 types of music in there, country and western, and the bloke behind the bars clearly missed his training at charm school. We'll get on with it now. Just started raining, which isn't going to be a problem because this device is waterproof. Well, I say waterproof, it's IP67, which means it's so obviously that's a good thing, which makes it easy. So if you use the kit that comes with it and wire this into your bike, then you've got no issues with, you know, power and it being a problem like you can have with iPhones on your bike. You know, I've not really had a problem in all the years I've been using my iPhone for trail riding. Yeah, so from that point of view, it's a pretty bomb-proof unit. I've read a lot of the reviews on Amazon and on their website, and what people have said in other reviews on YouTube. Yeah, it gets a lot of good feedback. Right, so I just stopped to zip up all the vents in my jacket because it's got a bit chilly all of a sudden. Thankfully I've got a poacher's pocket in the back of this jacket, and I stuck my little gilet in, so might have to whack that on in a bit. Yeah, but what I just wanted to show you quickly was this, while it was in my mind because of what I'd just done. So one of the problems I can see with this unit, if you're trail riding, is that if you stall the bike, or when you switch the bike off, it's gonna switch off the device, and it's gonna switch it off, and then it's going to reboot again. So if you're doing something quite technical and you might stall fairly often, that could get a little bit annoying. So I'll show you. Look, so say I'll just use a kill switch. Look, so imagine I've just stalled the bike and I want to restart the bike. So I'm in my OS map app screen here, but it would be the same, you know, whatever. And if I start the bike, look, it goes off. So 1 elephant, 2 elephant, 3 elephant, 4 elephant, 5 elephant, 6 elephant, 7 elephant, 8 elephant, 9 elephant, 10 elephant, 11 elephant, 12 elephant. So about 12 seconds, you know, a bit over 10 seconds to go back to where you were, which is not, you know, I think that's pretty good, but it might get a little bit boring. So that the Garmin Zumo XT that I've got, when the power goes off, it asks you if you want to switch it off, and it you can either no, leave it on, or yes, switch off. So that's one of the things I wish with this device, is that it just had a little battery in it and it offered you that same option, that it didn't keep switching off like that. But that's only kind of a minor niggle. If you'd got this going into a power bank, or you wired it up using the kit that it comes with straight to the battery, so it wasn't on the ignition loop. So I suppose a lot of people would wire it up to the accessory loop on this bike, but if you did it straight to the battery, which I guess I can't see an issue with doing that, that's what I do on my CRF, and you know, but I've got a positive on-off switch on that. So you know, that's obviously going to be something. But when you disconnect the device from the bike, then it's obviously not going to have any drain on the system. Yeah, so that is a minor niggle with this, but I think it's only a minor niggle, and there are obviously ways around it. Right, there's a car coming, so let's go now before it gets too close. Yeah, so let's have a chat with, who is this device for then? Who is going to buy this? Well, I think if you're in the market for something that's not going to set you back too much. I had a look on Amazon before I came out, and these were about 150 quid on Amazon. They're going to give me some links, and if you buy via the links that I'll put at the end, you know, I get a little bit back from you buying from that. But so I've no idea at the minute how much that's going to be. It might be more, it might be less than Amazon, I don't know. Which is, you know, 700 quid from Montana. I can't remember, I did look but I've forgotten what a Garmin Zumo XT2 would be now. Obviously you could buy a used one. Yeah, so you know, they're not a lot of money, and if you're worried about damaging your phone, then you know, this is an option, because then, like, my phone's in my tank bag now, it's out of the way, it's not on the bike rattling and damaging the camera, which has been a problem with iPhones in the past. Yeah, so this kind of fills that void of, it's a cheap option, gives you a screen, you can leave your phone in your bag or in your pocket, and then when you stop and you want to take photos, you know, that works. Yeah, obviously I've bought a second phone, and obviously with a phone you get, you know, all the good things and not so many of the bad things. Obviously the screen on a phone's nowhere near as big, and the information's not as big, and yeah, so I do like this. I do like it a lot. I think it offers up, you know, something that will work for a lot of people. So I get to keep this, and this will be my go-to thing if I'm going to meet up with my mate Sean, and we're going to go and do some lanes, something that's fairly simple, or we're doing a bit of, then this is what I'm going to use. If we're going somewhere where we've not been before, and it's going to be tricky to navigate, then I would use my phone, because I just prefer the OS map app for navigating on new to me green lanes, because of the mapping. OS maps, OSM and is good. I discussed this the other day, but in the last vlog, but I just really like OS map app, and yeah, so I think if you're in the market for something like this sort of setup, then, you know, it is a good bit of kit. It really works. There's not much to dislike about it if you know, got access to the apps that you want. And for a lot of people, simple things like, you know, just changing your music as you're going along, and seeing a simple map app, be it Waze, Kalimoto, Google Maps or iMaps, you know, that's more than enough. Yeah. Came up on me a bit quick. I will share this route that I've done today. I'll stick a GPX file in, and if you want to come and do it, it's yeah, it's been a nice little loop actually, some good roads. That first little beach where I started at, you can get to that on pretty much any bike. apart from the very, very last bit, but so you would be able to leave your bike really close to the beach. But you know, if you're careful, you'll even get right on the beach. Yeah, it does get a little bit gravelly down here, so probably this bit you might not be able to do on any bike. You won't want to bring your blooming Fireblade down here. Yeah, so going back to, you know, what I was saying, this prat, because, you know, that's what it is. What this prat was saying in this group about, you know, oh, you guys and your gadgets. Well, you know, we do need gadgets, I feel, in this sort of activity. If we're going to be adventure bike people, you know, we need gadgets and we need devices that are going to get us to where we want to go. And if it makes what we're doing really, really easy, then I'm all for it. And and if it gets us to places like this, then what is there to not like about it, eh?
Well, the weather's really conspired against us now. It's chucking it down. But anyway, morale is good. So let's do a sort of final summary then on this Carpuride W702 Pro. Yeah, in short, I think it is a really, really good bit of kit. It works really well. It's easy to use. You've not really got to do a lot. Let's go to the home screen there. You've not really got to do a lot to get it up and running because of CarPlay on your iPhone. I'm assuming it's the same if you're using Android Auto. Because it's already on your phone, a lot of it just fires up and cracks on. So if you go into settings here, look, you've got your Bluetooth here. So this is how you've got your discovery list. So you would go in here and search for devices, yeah, or you have your paired list and it tells you what's connected. Look, so it's telling me it's connected to my phone. And these are the two speakers I tried to get it to work with earlier. So in the settings, you've also got Wi-Fi devices, and then in general you've kind of just got some very, very basic stuff, look, like language, go back, restore factory settings, we're not going to do that, and then system version. So there's, in the actual settings of the device, there's not a lot there at all. And then you've just got some other useful tools, like you can change your screen background using this button here. You know, there's not a lot to choose from. You've got your screen brightness, etc. Then your equalizer, your volume, which is if you're connected using BT. Oh, it'll tell me if I go back to settings. No, I'll show, bear with caller. If you go to audio settings. So this is the thing that confuses some people. So this is the one that I'm on. I'm using this one, and my Senna just talks direct to my helmet. It's not going via the device. If you do it this way, it will go via the device, and I couldn't ever get any sound in my helmet doing it that way, and that's why I needed to be on this one. So yeah, so there it is. It's really, really simple. So if you're looking for something to put on your bike, you don't want your phone there, you don't want your phone to sort of vibrate to death and break, you're worried about it falling off, and you're doing 80 down the motorway and the thing falls off, then or someone grabbing it, you know, you're driving through a city and someone just grabs your phone and nicks it because they're not cheap, and you know, you've got a lot of information on an iPhone. It's just cooling down. Let me quickly. Yeah. Yeah, so if you're looking for something to put on there that's easy to use, easy to connect, fairly simple, multiple ways of connecting it up, either be USB as I've done here, or directly into the bike, then this definitely could be for you. Carpuride have said I can keep this, sell it, do whatever I want with it once I've finished, and I am going to keep it and I will use it. You know, for trips like today, it's just so easy and simple to use. I will keep using it. And because of the RAM system, as I mentioned before, so because you've got the RAM mount here, this RAM mount is where I normally put my GoPro, which is why I haven't used that one. I'm a really fussy person. I don't like bits of kit everywhere. I just want one thing, and I want it in a good place where, so I've mentioned this before, I have it quite high up, but not so it's blocking my view, because then it's easier to navigate with. Yeah, so I just want one device that's easy to use, that's you know, just something that I get on with. So yeah, and that RAM device system makes it a doddle to put on the bike, take off, and obviously those RAM systems, as I said before, quite ubiquitous. You can get all sorts of ones on Amazon, buy them in your local bike shops. Yeah, it is actually quite a good system, and there's a lot to like about it. Okay, so thanks for coming along today for the ride and the vlog and the review. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. If you've got any questions, then stick in a comment. I will stick some links in the description so you can have a look through there, and Carpuride website and some affiliate links they're going to give me, or maybe just go on Amazon and have a look at what's going on with the Carpurides from Amazon. So yeah, if you've got a question, get in touch, be it via YouTube, Instagram, Facebook page. Got a Facebook chat group for Two Wheeled Adventures, so look that up. You can ask questions in there and join the chat, not just about this, but about anything to do with trail riding, whatever, you know, green laning, just ask in the group. It's a very friendly group, so no issues in there. Yeah, so thanks for coming along. From me, from Mike, that's it for today, from the gorgeous Aylesford Creek. Hopefully see you again back on the channel, but if I don't see you on the channel, then hopefully I'll see you out on the trail riding your bike. So from me, bye for now.